everybody, this is Ty's sister here for the last day of guest host week, and I'm going to be ranking the new releases for the 2025 Mainline. Ty hasn't done this yet, so there's a bit of pressure on me. And to be honest, he just briefed me on everything that's in front of me, but I still don't really know if I know what I'm looking at. So, let's do it. Let's have some fun. We'll jump right in. The first one down here is Masha Elsrench. And so I've been told that she was canceled in 2019 and now is back. So that's exciting. I think she looks pretty cool and fun. Here's a little... Oh, it doesn't let me zoom. There we go. Here's a little close-up of her. She's a crew chief for Team Fiber Fuel, as we can see, very clearly says Fiber Fuel right on her. She's being released with this pity over here, but Ty didn't include that, so we're just looking at her, so ignore the pity. But yeah, I guess she doesn't technically appear in the movie, so it's like this is the only version that we have of her, so I think that's pretty cool. I'd say that, she's giving a little bit of a school bus color vibe, but I don't mind because, team colors, I'm sure, not that I know what Team Fiber Fuel is, but I'm personally a fan of what we have going on here. I think, there's probably a lot of excitement around this, so I'm going to join the masses and get excited, and I think that we can put her in a solid, B tier moment to start. Go, Masha. Love you, girl. Okay, so next up we have Jonathan Gearson. Now, I've heard a lot about her, and you might be like, her? I know. Well, I'm sure you knew already. However, Jonathan Gearson is a woman who they accidentally gave a man's name to, and so, I do feel a little bad for her in some ways. But I've heard a lot of tales about this mishap. So this is an interesting one for me. I mean, there's not a lot going on here, when we just look at the Diecast. I mean, she's one of the crew members from Cars on the Road. That's, kind of all that is really happening here. She just looks like a crew member, but, kind of fancier, I guess. Here's the thing is, I don't want to discredit her because they, messed up her name, and kind of decided her fate for her. I feel like that's a little bit unfair. However, there's nothing really special happening in general. But, she's cute. I don't know. It's just, there's nothing really going on. I'm between C and D. Is D harsh? Guys, let's see. No, yeah, I feel like she has to go in D tier. Is that really mean? I think there's just nothing really special happening, but she can't help what was, happened. But this is just kind of a fail on their part, I think, is what's gone on here. Okay, so next we have the Race and Rescue crew that's going on here, which is the majority of the line that we're reviewing today. So we first have the Rescue, Lightning McQueen, which it's pretty clear it says Rescue right on his side. However, I do like the designs that we have going on here. I like the Radiator Springs little Cat Mountain logo that's going on. I like the colors. Gotta say, the light on his head is throwing me off. Obviously, Rescue, he needs a light. That's very important. It just looks a little odd to me on him, but again, it is kind of, essential for what we have going on here. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not in love with this look for him. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it looks like he's wearing some sort of weird hat. But and I also think the text is a little bit aggressive, and I think it has to do with the black outline. I almost wish that the outline was thinner, or, yeah, something of the sort. It's, very aggressive, but also, again, it's, in theme with what a rescue vehicle should look like. So I think this one is kind of gonna, now that I'm looking at my list, I feel like this one is, it's kind of gonna go in like a C tier for me, at least at the moment. Now I'm feeling like maybe Masha's a little too high. But, I feel like we always start out that way, so it's okay. Again, if he wasn't wearing the weird hat, I'd feel better, but it's fine. So next, let's scoot over to Mater. See, his little hat doesn't bother me. Like, that looks more natural on Mater because he's already kind of like a, I don't know what to call him, like a utility vehicle, I guess. So like that I've seen tow trucks that look like this before, and so it's kind of cool to see him take on this look. I was stuck behind a tow truck on the road recently that was flashing its lights all over the place, and this is kind of what Mater is giving to me, but I'm not mad at it. And I like this one a lot, actually. I think that's also because, again, the text is a little bit calmer. Like, I like that the rescue on him just has yellow text. I like the little double logo that we have going on, like on the door and on his hood. Yeah, I feel good about him. I think he can get right up there with Masha in the B tier. And the yellow tires are fun, but in this photo, they're kind of looking like a slightly different yellow than the rest of the yellows they're using. And I'm also now getting a little thrown off by his eye color because it almost looks yellow. But that's okay. We can have a Sith Lord tow truck and we'll be fine. Yeah, I'm feeling fine with that. So, okay, guys. Next is Chick Hicks. Listen, we all know Chick Hicks, bad guy extraordinaire, right? I always had a problem with Chick Hicks because 86 is my favorite number, but he's the villain. How do you deal with that as a child watching the movies? I don't know. And you might be saying, why did you have such an extravagant favorite number as a child? And to that I say, I was a child, but it's still true today. But yeah, I've always loved the look of Chick Hicks. I love the bumper stickers. I'm very much like, I don't know. I think when you do maximalism well, it works, and I think he does that. But yeah, so apparently in this storyline, he causes some sort of an accident at the race, and the Radio Springs rescue team jumps in. So clearly he's giving race. He would never be giving rescue. Like, he doesn't have that kind of energy. Again, villain, right? So I really like this a lot. Like, I think that the logo is really cool. This in the center here, this like Chick Hicks 86 with the blue behind it, kind of making it look like it pops out. Yeah, I like the addition of the blue that we see going on. Yeah, I think this is really cool, honestly, and I think it's a cool addition to the line. So yeah, the villain's gonna be, ooh, is he A? Is he B? I think he's gonna go into A for me. Because, you know what I think they did really well is they didn't change that much about him, but they made him go with the flow of the line. Like, he's not the boldest of the bunch, but it works, and I like that, personally. Okay, next up is Cal Weathers. He's a classic. What a cutie. Honestly, look at this little smile he's got going on. Like, very sweet, very innocent, very unassuming looking. You might be laughing because you're like, she doesn't know anything about Cal Weathers, and you'd be correct, but I think that he's lovely. I think this is a really cute way to kind of incorporate the Dynaco logo and colors into the race and rescue. I'm assuming that he's giving race rather than rescue, and I think that's okay also. I guess, yeah, and the race and rescue kind of having the same logo going on, I think is really cute too. But obviously, like, it's, for him, it's whatever colors it needs to be. Oh, this is interesting. The one red hubcap and the one silver hubcap. Okay, fancy. Yeah, I like him. I feel like there could be more going on, and I kind of feel like they just threw this other logo on the side here next to the 42. I almost, like, To be honest, I'm not sure what I would have liked better, but I don't love that. I think it's like an awkward size. But yeah, I also can't really read what this says back here. Um, but I do like that it's there. He's like a solid honestly, he's kind of like a C tier for me. He's just like not doing anything special, but I do think he's sweet. So, yeah. Sorry, Cal. But, you're great. I sang your praises already. Perfect. Okay. Next up is Red. Oh, I just love him. Look at him. He's so sweet all the time. Okay. And this is perfect for him. Like what a good line. For him to be a part of, right? Like perfect. He's already a rescue vehicle. And all they really did was have to put rescue on him and some yellow detailing, and I think he's really cute. Something that I have been told to note, which is very important, is that he's been shrunken down to fit as a single, so we don't really know what his size is going to look like. And that is a little strange because Red is always bigger than the rest of the bunch, and I remember that as a kid, like playing with Ty and playing with the toys, like he always felt so much bigger, which is fitting, right? Like fire trucks are huge. So I'm a little curious to see how that goes, and I would be a little upset or taken aback if he was much smaller, especially because we now have these other rescue vehicles with him, and like McQueen shouldn't be the same size as Red. It just doesn't make sense. So I do love Red. I think that they did a nice job with this. They didn't go too over the top with him, which I really like. Um, I'm gonna put him in a solid B tier, just because I don't think he can be any higher because um, we don't know what the size is gonna look like, which is unfortunate. But yeah. Okay, next up is Cruz. You know what? Honestly, she looks way cooler up close than she does in this little picture over here, so I'm glad I'm doing this zoomed in version. I really like this Dynaco logo over the tire. That's super cool and really smart. Um, I'm not sure how I feel about the navy blue hood, but I think the way that it ties in the color of the Dynaco Dino, is really cool. I like her. I like her more than I thought I would. Again, like I said, from far away. I almost wish that they gave her not I don't know if she has yellow hubcaps usually. I'd assume she doesn't. So, I almost wish that they did like a red hubcap for her rather than a yellow. I feel like it would have popped more. But yeah, I like this look for her. I also feel like she's wearing some really fierce eyeliner or mascara, like more than usual. um, but yeah, so that's fun. I like her. I think, you know what? I like these little details. The one thing that's throwing me off is just the big dark wash of color in the front, if I'm being totally honest. I don't know that we needed that. I feel like it could be yellow and still have just like the blue details of the logo in particular. So for that reason, I think she's gonna go into B tier for me, which is really filling up. But yeah, I like that. Okay, Sarge. He's got a fire hydrant attached to him, which is the first thing that caught my eye, and it looks kind of funny. It looks like he's really ready to go, but I love that for him, and it's in character. He's got a very American looking version of this rescue squad with like the red and white stripes back here, which I think is really cool. I honestly think he looks I wonder if they modeled him after um like a military rescue vehicle in terms of the new stuff. I don't know. That would be kind of cool and smart of them, but also they probably could have just like slapped some of the pre-existing logos onto him like they clearly did and just called it a day. But I do like this little detailing on his back, and I like the logos. He's not doing like anything visually really super special for me, but he's gonna be there for you. So I almost feel bad putting him in C tier, but I just don't think he's like that interesting to look at. Um, but we know you're great, Sarge, and you know it too. So keep crushing it. Okay, Luigi and Guido. These were the first that I heard of in this new line because Ty, spoiler alert, was very excited about them. And I just can't agree more. I think the star of the show here is clearly Guido. Like, look at the little hat. Are you kidding? It's so big for his little head. Um, he's got the yellow detailing going on. If I'm honest, Luigi is throwing me off. I don't like the flag. I don't like it. I think it's weird. I feel like they could have done more with him. It seems though that he has some red detailing that we can't really see in this particular photo, and I like that. I wish we did more of that. Like I would be happy for him to have something on the hood. Um, I don't know. I kind of wish I need a 360 of him because the flag is blocking a lot for me, and I just find it strange. Like a warning flag? Like, what is he gonna? So everyone gets to the scene of the accident, and he's gonna stand in front, like, "Don't step here, caution, wet floor." Like that's what he's giving, and it's upsetting to me. And I really want these to be the star of the show because Guido is for me, and like I honestly really want them to be S tier, but I think they're gonna have to be A tier just because of the of Luigi's weird flag, but Guido is S tier in my heart. If I could split them down the middle, he'd go right up there because he's so freaking cute and he's the best little firefighter ever. Um, yeah, okay. Um, Next is Kathy Copter. She's killing it. Again, she looks great. She looks so much better than I, again, also thought from the smaller version of the photo. Um, this is definitely a thing that they've done with helicopters before, or maybe it's not. I actually have no idea what I'm talking about, but I love that this looks like a little hat for her. I think that that's really cool and a really smart way of doing things. Um, yes, they have done this before, but I think that the difference in the color here really makes it stand out, and it's like she's wearing the little branded logo hat. I really like her. I think she looks great. I honestly have no issues. I like the color scheme for her. I feel like this color yellow is almost closer to Masha's color yellow, and I prefer that over um like it almost seems like we were talking about Mater's hubcaps that look really bright. I like this more mustardy yellow color. Is she S tier, guys? I think she has no issues. She's very satisfying visually. I'm a very visual person. I mean, we're doing like a visual based video right now, but she's visually exciting to me. Um, yeah, I think she might be S tier. I think she's great. She looks really nice and clean and simple, and she looks like she's ready to get the job done. So, happy for her. Congratulations, Kathy. Um, cool. Next is Sally. If I'm being so real, I do not know what's going on here. Well, clearly she's going to distribute some traffic cones, which is her specialty. But again, it looks like such a weird little hat. It looks really odd. Can we all agree with that? I wonder if this contraption, this gray contraption, um, in universe, not on the diecast, I wonder if it would like come down and like flip the cones, or like if Guido would have to like grab them, or like you know what I mean? Like what with his forklifts, like what is the goal? How are we doing this? Does she just like tip herself over a little bit and like dump a cone out? I don't really know what the mechanics are of this without having arms. Yeah, I'm not happy with her. If we take the little hat away, the logo looks cute on her. The rescue looks cute. I like these little like navy blue line detailing that she has going on. Um, but I don't super love this version of the logo. I'm realizing that they used so many different color versions of this logo, which obviously it goes kind of along with what color the car already is, but this is not my favorite version. The yellow on the inside is a little odd to me, which actually, did they do the same thing for Cruz? I'm checking. Where is she? No, they didn't. Okay, that was just for me. No, they didn't do the same thing for Cruz. They had the navy blue background. I'm not feeling Sally on this. Love you, girl, but it's gonna be D tier. Like what is the hat? And there's 3, not 4, but would 4 look weirder? Confused. Moving right along, please and thank you. Here's Morgan Martins. Classic rescue vehicle already. This is another one that's been shrunken down. And that would be a little strange, shrunken down, I think. But also, I'm imagining this really big, and it seems really aggressive. So now Morgan's original release was a Super Chase. So this is a really exciting one to have in this collection because it's going to be far more readily available. So that's really cool for like people who were looking for a version of Morgan here. He's not really doing what I want him to do. I almost feel like there's too much white happening. I like the red and yellow stripes that we have going on back here. But it doesn't feel very cohesive, as weird as that sounds. I think something about the really big text on the top being in that navy blue. Yeah, this one's not my favorite. Sorry to all the Morgan fans who are really excited about this. I still think it is an exciting release. And for that reason, I'll give him C tier, I think. It's just not doing anything special for me, but it is exciting that he's included. So, C tier it is. Awesome. Now we have Jeff Gorvette. I feel like he's always just serving attitude. And whatever this facial expression is that's going on, really is throwing me off, if I'm honest. Now, it might look better when we see the real thing, but whatever he's doing with his mouth, it just looks like he's very stressed, but he is a racer, you know? So maybe he's stressed about the race, maybe he's really in the zone. Let's not focus on that. Let's look at his side. Again, very America, crushing it. It looks pretty cool, honestly. I'm wondering if this logo would be bigger and better centered in the real thing, because it's looking a little like small and squished up towards his eyes. I do like the color of his spoiler, and I think that with the text it's looking really cool. I also have been informed that they kept the mouth of the original variant but changed the eyes, and this is potentially the first time they've ever changed his eyes, and that's definitely why he looks so weird. Honestly, what are we doing with that? Like, why didn't we change the whole expression? I'm a little frustrated by that. He's on the lower end for me, guys. He's a little strange looking. But again, I like the colors that we have going on. As I keep saying, they're all the same color. We get it. Yeah, something about the placement of the logo, which again, this photo could just be doing him dirty, but I think he's gonna be in D tier because he's not special to me. Like, not doing anything special for me, and I just think the expression is like a little too odd. I mean, he is a racer though. Is that not fair? We're gonna go with our gut. We're gonna leave him there. Okay. Next is Jackson Storm. Cool. Honestly, this is looking pretty cool. I really like the logo being kind of a monochrome effect. I think that's pretty cool. Since they have these red accents back here, I almost wish that they tied them in up front as well. But again, like I can finally read it. The Rally Race 200 looks cool on the spoiler. I'm liking the colors. He is a very angular car, but he's looking very particularly angular in this photo, which is interesting. I think I wish there was a little bit more going on, but I do think it fits his character. So you know what? For that reason, I think he's gonna... No, I think he is gonna be C. I think he's gonna be C, because I do wish that we went a little bit... No, I think it fits for him. I think he's gonna be B. I have to think of who he is, you know, at his core, and I think that for him, this makes sense. Even though I might not personally love it. You know, we gotta be selfless sometimes. That's all I have to say about that. Okay. Okay. Now this is the race version, right? Of McQueen? Okay. Okay, now we have the race version of McQueen. I feel solidly okay about this. The biggest thing that's throwing me off is the gray. Why would this not be yellow? Is it not yellow because the rescue version of him is yellow? Why did we make that choice? I don't really know. Even white, like there's white up here in the front logo. Why isn't this white? I feel like it makes him look very dull. And McQueen is not a dull guy, if we know anything about him. I think he's gonna go right with his buddy of himself and go into C tier because I like what they're doing. I think they were on a good track. I think they needed a couple more color tests before. Like this almost looks like a prototype, this section of him. Like they didn't color it in or something. Okay, great. Next we have a classic, Sheriff. Sheriff and Adam Rodriguez. Wait, hold on. Now, next we have a classic, Sheriff. Sheriff and Adam Rodriguez, who's next, are coming together. Exciting. I think Sheriff looks fantastic, honestly. I really like that they only did gold accents for him in terms of the new stuff, as far as I can tell. I like the stripes back here. I feel like he looks really sleek and clean, and the mustache is popping. Like, he looks great. Honestly, I think he's gonna be our next S tier because I think that they executed this perfectly. Yeah, really good look for him, and that's exactly what I would expect a police car to look like in this universe. So I'm happy with that one. Great, let's scoot on over to Adam Rodriguez. He, honestly, guys, if I'm being so real, the eyes are a lot for me. He's like really staring into my soul. Why are the eyes so wide? Why is he so surprised? Why is he scared? He's supposed to be a rescue vehicle, right? He is like a fire truck, one of those smaller pickup truck fire trucks. And so I thank him for his service. I'm sure he does great work. He just looks really startled for someone who probably sees fire and does rescue missions all the time, which would make me, as someone he's rescuing, feel a little bit uneasy, you know? So, but anyways, in terms of what we actually have going on, again, when we ignore the eyes, I do like it. I think it's simple. I think it works really well for his vehicle. I think it matches, like I'm imagining him and Red on the same mission, and I feel like they match each other pretty well, though he has a little bit more of the navy blue going on. Yeah, I don't have any big issue with him other than the eyes. So I think you know what? I feel like if I put Jackson Storm in B tier, it's only fair to put him up in B tier also. Am I being harsh? No, I don't think so. Ty's pretty harsh. So, so great. We have one more. Okay, next we have Danny Suarez. Pretty cool. He is exclusive to the 2-pack of him and Cruz. So that's exciting. He is my purple king. I love a good purple look. The purple and gold, yellow we've got going on is great. When the purple is mixed with the red, white, and blue, it is a little odd. Unless they kept this purple, this detailing. They may have. I won't judge him on that. That's not really fair. I think it actually is purple. Can't really tell. I am once again thrown off by his expression. But it's okay because he's in the racing zone and I can forgive that more than I can forgive what's going on here with Jeff Gorvette. I think he looks pretty good. He's the most outside of the color family that we've seen, I guess, outside of like Chick Hicks and Sarge being green. But purple is a little bit more out there, I think. He's not doing anything incredibly special for me. I think he's honestly a solid B tier, which seems to be my most full tier. So thank you, Danny, for rounding that out for us. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was fun to look at everything. Nobody made it to F tier. Nothing was that bad. I'm really interested to see what Ty thinks when he reviews all of these guys. I'm going to try to get Ty to tier list this as well rather than just review because I want to see his version of everything, and I'd love to know what you think also and what your versions would be. Once again, do I really know what I'm talking about? Definitely not. But do I see a lot of Cars diecasts in my daily life? Yes, I do. So, does that make me qualified? You tell me. I have no idea. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me here as Ty's last guest host of this week. Um, I'm sure we're all looking forward to him coming back because we do not need me blabbering on any longer. The tier list for this will be public if you want to make your own, so there's a link for that in the description box that you can click. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me today, and make sure that you subscribe to Ty because he's awesome and he works really hard. And you should like this video because can't see dislikes on YouTube anyways, so it won't even matter. But do whatever you want. Have a great day, everybody. Bye now.